What is up, y'all? So, I just heard the most ignorant thing ever. But it made me want to make this. It actually made me want to make a post on Facebook. But as I was typing it, I'm like, I might as well just make a video because, man. So I'm watching this video on YouTube. I'm not gonna say what video, but she's basically talking about how toxic some men can be, basically. And it's how she just said what she said. She said that a lot of men be disrespecting women and they find joy in disrespecting women, and they may be undercover. It also could be the fact that their mother was ran through. That's why they don't trust women, because they lack the understanding of what a woman really go through, because they never saw a woman treated with respect. And the word I'm looking at on my screen, I actually just looked up the definition of hope, and I'm reading it right now. It say, hope is the optimistic state of mind that is based on expectation of positive outcomes with respect to events and circumstances in one's life or the world at large. As a verb, its definitions include expect with confidence, to cherish a desire with anticipation, want something to happen or be the case, a feeling of expectation or desire for a certain thing to happen. And like going off of what she said and like reading this definition of hope, like this is just my own mind thinking at this exact moment. But I feel like when young boys go through that situation, like see their mom in that state, they lack hope for love and respect of women when they see that young. And it's the same thing as a woman whose father do the same thing. Like it ain't it ain't a gender thing. It's a human thing. As the seeds that you sow into the kids matter. And like going back to a video that I actually shared on Facebook, which is why I was willing to type this on Facebook, was this man, he was talking about how as a parent, when you get upset with your kid and you yell at them and you tell them to go in their room because you're overwhelmed and they're overwhelmed, you basically telling them to isolate themselves so that they won't be overwhelmed and you won't be overwhelmed in this moment. And that's a lack of emotional intelligence. It instills a seed of abandonment in a sense, or like I ain't gonna say neglect, but more so abandonment. Because let me look up the word abandonment. I know what it means, but I like to read definitions now. The act or instance of leaving a person or a thing permanently or completely. The act of leaving someone or something, or of ending or stopping something, usually forever. The abandonment of an island following nuclear testing is la 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 la. But basically, what made me use the word abandonment is because it's the lack of concern for the child that you are teaching. Because it's like, if that's how you handle the situation and you leave it at that. Because I came from a family where that was done. So now when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I isolate myself to process my own thoughts and to figure out how to mitigate the situation for myself. Something I literally had to learn, and I'm 24 now. But like when I was younger, I used to do that a lot, because whenever I would get them upset, they would send me to my room. And I ain't gonna lie, I would be mad and I'd slam the door. I was definitely one of those. And that was because we never took the time to alchemize the energy of understanding within that environment. And that made, as a child, you psychologically lose hope after a while, because you, for one, you feel like your feelings don't matter to the people that you love, that you feel the most for. You get that nudge, like, I guess I don't matter as much. Because when it comes down to them, you talk to them with intention. You understand them better. But when it comes down to me, you act as if I'm wrong for feeling how I feel, and I should just lay down and obey you. That's not how life works. That's not how people work. And if that's what you're teaching a child, then that's the reason why you cannot. That's the reason for the disconnect. I'm not speaking from a parent perspective. I'm speaking from a child who had to heal from those childhood wounds. So yes, I can speak on this because I know what it's like to be hurt as a child. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if I acknowledge it now, when I do have children, I will be more aware of things like this that was done to me, to make sure it doesn't happen to the next. And that's the whole purpose in hope, in giving hope. It's an optimistic state of mind that is based on the expectation of positive outcomes with respect to events and circumstances in one's life or the world at large. So if you doing things, saying things, or making people, or like doing or saying, I'm just leave it at that. If you're doing or saying things that can disrupt a child's sense of hope, or even a person's sense of hope and what they believe in and what they know to be true, and you're not teaching them better in that regard, then you part of the problem. Like it's nothing to it. Like, I understand that us as people, like, we feel hopeless at times, and we use substances or pleasures, I'm gonna call it, to mitigate that void, to fill that void of the bottomless pit of our own suffering. And the reason why I use the word bottomless pit, because no matter how much you use these temporary pleasures to fill that void, that cup will always be half empty, because you never look at it as half full. I needed that. I needed that so much. I'm gonna just leave it at that, because I feel that shit in my stomach. So with that being said, peace and love.